Okay, and now we are going to talk about kind of one of the original um, treatments, devices uh, for direct marketing, which is direct mail. And here's somebody's mailbox, a real mailbox, not a virtual mailbox. Um, so let's use some memory here and remember the last time you opened one of those envelopes. I don't know, maybe you never have, but if you haven't, get a hold of one. See what's been sent to your apartment, or talk to your guardians or your parents and get a hold of a piece of direct mail. And, what's it like? What's it trying to do? How does it work? Why does it work? What are some direct mailings that are particularly effective? I mean, look, the job of the envelope is what? Every piece in a direct mailing has a job to do. What's the job of the envelope? It's to stop you from throwing it away. And it's to get you to open the envelope and see what's inside, right? And in fact, when you pull out what's inside, what do you pull out first? What do you look at first? Is it the letter? Just because you're used to taking letters out of envelopes and looking at them, so that's sort of what you do, and you see your name there. It's nice to see your name. I think famous uh, person by the name of Dale Carnegie, look it up. As this tips for success, Carnegie's tip for success, how to win friends and influence people. It's a book he wrote, and there still is training, Dale Carnegie training, and you know what? It's effective. Take a look. It's old-fashioned, but it works. One of the main things, first things Dale Carnegie says in terms of how to win friends and influence people is, what is every person's favorite word? It's their name. Right, so you read that. Then what do you pick up next? And then what's next? And what's next? And I like to think, I mean, the job of the direct mail, of every piece in the direct mail envelope is to stick to you, like these burrs stick you to someone's jeans. It wants to, it wants you to stick to it. It wants you to stick to it. It wants you to keep involved, keep looking at all the pieces, and start to think about and mentally engage with the steps in the purchase funnel. Okay, it's all right. Let's look at the classic steps, the classic items that are in a direct mail piece. Now, this is word to the wise. This is a little preview of your first team assignment. I'm going to give the assignment next week, and you'll start working with your teams within your teams next week. You can find your teams under, I think, users and groups, the side navigation on Blackboard. Introduce yourself, look at their backgrounds in the icebreaker Padlet. Okay. Here are the parts it has to have: envelope, letter, brochure, lift note, response device. We're going to look at each one of those now. And as we do, uh, how does it involve? Now, this is something that shows sort of everything. Okay. This is for, what is this for? HR training programs in as little as 5 minutes. This looks like it's B2B. It's business to business. Maybe it's going to personnel, VP personnel or something like that at companies, smaller companies maybe that can't afford a full-time HR department. So There's an outer envelope. There's a letter. There's a brochure. The brochure normally illustrates the benefits. The lift note is just a little piece that kind of doesn't fit anywhere. And sometimes it could be one of the first things you pick up just because it's odd. And you're like, what the hell's this? And you pick it up. The reply device, response device. So let's look at each of these and think about what each of them does. Okay, so the outer envelope, the outer. What's in it for me? It's to get it opened. You've got 7 seconds. That's the time it takes the average person to look at and open or discard your package. He looks at his name in the address area. She looks at any teaser copy, graphics, or involvement. Looks at the return address, looks at the postage, turns it over, see if there are any graphics. What stops the eye and the brain? How do you kickstart the response reaction so that by the time the reader opens the envelope and touches the next element of the package, she is already halfway to making a yes decision? Lots of times you'll see an offer mentioned on an envelope. This is an actual mailing. As you can see, I got it a while ago. It's a little different because it's for a charity. Really, it's not to necessarily get you to purchase a product, so it's a little different in terms of mindset, but it still works as a classic piece, and it's a well done. I've been getting these every year from them. Participation gifts enclosed do not bend. Okay. There's the offer right on the envelope. Materials enclosed solely for the use of selected participant. I've been selected. Okay, I've enclosed 4 free gift vouchers and 2 bonus gifts. Please return your questionnaire. It lets me know that it already is putting the pressure on me to respond. First is the envelope. Second is the letter. How to turn iFlow into cash flow. The letter is the heart and soul of the package. It must retain attributes of personal correspondence, yet function as a highly efficient selling machine. It's perceived as person-to-person communication because it's got your name on it. It's got the president of the company signing it with her signature. The voice of one person speaking to another person, even though the minute the reader looks at it, she knows it's not from a friend. Okay. No one reads every word of the letter, so you'll find that the letters tend to, a lot of underlining. There's not a lot of dense copy. The copy's broken up. Okay, so this is the first page of the Arbor Day Foundation. It's all about a tree survey. Very clever thing they do with this to get you stuck. Okay, it tells me right up front it's got my name. It tells me how special I am. It tells the offers I can get here. Look at this: free coffee, free flowering trees. My goodness, right? Look at all these things. So all these lets me know my offers. And it lets me know right here, free gift voucher for flowering trees. It's circled. And then that's why your opinions are so valuable. Okay, and here's the second page. It repeats the offers again. Look at the underlining to get the check marks. It's a very well designed letter to get me I don't have to read the whole thing. I get the idea here. There's stuff, it's for me. I'm picked because I'm so special, and they're gifts for me. All right. So please reply, handwritten. And there's chief executive has signed it just for me. And it's catching me. It's telling me things. It's getting my head into the offers and trees. Now the brochure shows off the product or service to the highest visual advantage. It projects the benefits. What does this thing do for you? It shows. Okay. It's the emotional concept of the coffee. It's the new world they'll have once they buy the products. Now, there isn't, since a product isn't being sold here, there isn't really a classic brochure here, but they do some other things to get you to think about the importance of the cause. One thing is, here's one of the gifts. This shows a tree with a bird on it. One touch of nature makes the whole world kin. William Shakespeare. And that's one of my gifts, but it's also showing me nature and trees. Lift letters, buck slips, freemiums, what's all the extra stuff. If it's not a letter, it's not the brochure, and it's not a response device, it's an insert. It's the extra element. And research shows again and again and again, if you put the extra thing in there, you get a higher response. So, how do you add elements to tweak interest? And one more sticky thing, one more thing that you can stick to, right? So it could be a little gift, could be a little quiz to take, it could be who knows what. So this is the little thing they included. It's this nice little, it's on a heavier stock paper. You can't really see it here. It's about the Arbor Day Foundation. And that's the little lift note, it's called. Now here's the survey, and this is so smart because in a way this really puts you in, gets you to think about the benefit of trees and that you might want to be involved here. Look at these questions. Please describe the immediate area where you live, urban, suburban, rural, other. Have you ever climbed a tree? Now, what a second. What have you ever asked that in research? Yes, no. When you were a child, did you ever play under or amongst trees? Yes, no. Did you ever collect leaves, acorns, or pine cones for a school project? Or just for fun? Yes, no. Do you ever relax in the shade of a tree? Yes, no. You think of sugar? I mean, look at this. I mean, which of the following would you say is the single most important function of trees? Providing shade, oxygen, source of beauty. I mean, it's just wonderful. It's just wonderful. I see. I think there's another page. Yeah, look at this. And I can use this as a response device. I can fill out the questionnaire. All right, it tells me what to do, responding by mail, and then I got to fill out my gift vouchers, and then I can decide how much I want to give, and I can give them my credit card. It's a little old-fashioned. And it mentions the gifts again. You're always going to mention your offers, gifts, and everything. Here's another buck slip. Here's another lift note. It's a certificate of appreciation. Oh, it's so nice. I could frame it. It's got acorns. Here's a gift. This is just a gift, but it also shows the benefits of trees. So you've got a gift and, in a way, a brochure that shows why trees are so wonderful. Response device. Anything they use to mail back, fax back, phone back, or email, or scan a barcode or scan a UPC code, right? Order forms, reply cards, pledge envelopes. Many people think it's the most important element. It can't deeply interest readers. It's small, just that one thing on its own. It doesn't explain benefits in detail. It's the decision pivot point. It's the point where you decide you're going to do it or not. And it's the closer. And it's also the thing you might keep. If you throw away all the rest of the thing, you might keep the response device to think about it later. So it's got to repeat everything important, the benefits and the offer. Here's the response device for Arbor Day Foundation. So you see it's got the gifts. And all right, so how does this piece move you down the purchase funnel? How does everything working together with all that depth of sale move you down the purchase funnel? And now I think we're going to stop, and I've got a few more to look at.